previous video, I showed you how to create multiple variations of a t-shirt design, for example, black text on white shirts and white text on black shirts, but that method doesn't carry over to all of our print items when you can't add a variation. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a listing with your variations and then sync your all over print products like leggings, for example, to your listing in your shop. Now this method I'm going to show you in Etsy, but it also applies to other shops like WooCommerce and Shopify, pretty much any that you can create the listing first and then sync back into Printful. So to begin with, I'm going to create a new listing in my shop, in this case Etsy. So I'm in my Etsy shop on the listing tab and I'm clicking Add a Listing button. Now in order to save this listing as a draft, Etsy requires that you fill out certain information, including a photo. So for this reason, I'll sometimes start in Printful and sync the first variation so that it has a photo and all the other information. But in this case, I'm just going to add a draft photo, a dummy photo that we'll take out later. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill out all the information that has an asterisk next to it. That's required information. So we have to have something there in order to save this listing as a draft. Now because I'm adding multiple background colors as my variation, I'm going to click under Choose Primary Color. I'm going to say I offer more than one. This will automatically create a variation for my primary color option. Note that you can also add your own custom variation. So for example, maybe the background color is the same, but you offer different designs like a heart on one and a smiley face on another. I'll show you that in the variation section below. So this variation section is what is important for you to add multiple options to your listing in Printful. I've already added a variation for primary color, but you can also add your own custom variation. So in this case, because I'm adding multiple colors, I have my primary color variation here, and I'm going to select the colors that I choose to offer from this drop-down. I can also add my own custom option down at the bottom with Create a New Option. And then when I'm finished adding all of my options, I'll click Update to update the listing. When all of my options are selected, I'll click Save as a Draft, because obviously it's not ready to publish, but I do need Printful to see it, so I'll save this option as a draft. Now you can see up here I've missed one of the required fields as it's warning me, so I need to scroll up and find the red text. Doesn't seem to be missing any. Sometimes Etsy gives you that error and it's wrong, and just click Save as a Draft again. And see, it went through. So now that I've created my listing on Etsy, I need to go back over to Printful and sync my store so that that draft listing shows up in my Printful store. So over in my Printful store, you can see that my pillow draft has not synced to the store yet. I can either wait a while for it to show up and refresh the page, or I can force a sync by pressing the Refresh Data link in the upper right. And now my draft listing has appeared. So now to add the options for my pillow, I'll click Edit on the listing. You can see that each variation is listed here. To begin with, at the top, click Choose Product. And select the product you want to print from your options here. So because I'm doing a pillow, I'll go to Home and Living, and then Pillows. Now in my listing I didn't designate a size, which I could have for a second variation. So in this case I'm just going to make all the pillows the same size. Now you can see up here that my variation is black, so that means I want a black background on this pillow. So Printful now has this option where you can select print area background color, or you can select your own all over print artwork. In this case, I'm going to select black from the background color and then add my text. Now because I selected the background color for all print areas, the back is already colored black, but I can also add additional text. After I'm done adding my artwork, I'll click Continue. And I'll repeat this process with each of my variations. So for example, with this next color, blue, I'll choose my product. And now the nice thing is Printful will remember what your last product that you selected was. And so I recommend doing the same product type, for example, all the same pillow sizes at once. So if you offer more than one pillow size, start with all the 20 by 12s and then move on to your other sizes. So now my design is already on there. All I need to do is select the blue color for my background. And once again, you could also upload your own all over print design if you'd rather do that. Now that all of my variations are synced in Printful, I need to go back to Etsy to publish my listing. But you'll notice when I go back to Etsy and view my draft that none of the photos are showing yet. So you have one more step in Printful. One option is to download each mockup and then add it to Etsy manually. But I prefer to click the box next to one of the variations and then click Change Print File, then click Proceed to Mockups, select the mockups that you want to sync to your store, and click Submit. So now rather than manually having to download the mockups and manually upload them, they are now syncing to Etsy. Note, you have to do this though for each variation. So now if I open this draft listing, you'll see that the mockups are starting to sync. If not all of them are in there yet, simply click Cancel on your listing to go back to the listing page. Wait a little longer for the sync to complete, and then reopen your listing. Now you can see that all of my mockups have successfully synced into my Etsy listing, and I can now go through and complete the other details of my listing, and then click Publish when I'm ready to view it. You can also click Preview before you publish. So for example, this is how my listing will show. A user can select the color and then add to cart. Now if you want this picture to sync with the color they selected, go back to your draft and in your variation, click Link Photos. And then for each variation type, select the photo that you would like to sync with the preview. So now when a user selects a color, on the actual listing, this, for example, would change to red pillow. It doesn't work on the preview, but it will work on the published listing. And obviously you'll want to delete any dummy photos you added as well. And now you're all set to publish your multiple all-over Printful product. Wow, isn't that a mouthful? Well, I'll link the related videos for how to do this on t-shirts and other DTG products below, but let me know if there's anything else that you need to know to be successful in your print-on-demand journey. Have a great day!